Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Innana Blessing. I'm an oracle. I'm a priestess, which means I heal people by activating their life force energy back into place and opening their hearts. Having that said, I am doing a video series where I am talking about the current energies. Every week I show up here with my presence, with my oracle, with what I see, with what I feel, and I share the wisdom that comes through me in order for you to understand the world better and how to work with it better. So you may use the energy that is going for your betterment instead of your detriment. Having that said, today is going to be a heavy video. So I'm just going to dive straight in. The 29th of March, something's going to happen around that time. The world as we know it will end. Now, this sounds very Armageddon like, right? And this is not about everybody's going to die or everything is going to shit. No, no, no. How we live our lives now, how we are doing life, that is going to change profoundly. And this could be the deepest and the biggest liberation of us all, but it's going to look nasty. It's going to look like we're being compressed, suppressed, and squeezed from all angles in order to push your old self, the self that wants to survive life instead of actually thrive and actually living from your core essence, that part that is just surviving the outside shell, that is pretending, that one is going to die for all of us, or at least on a large scale in the world. This means that how you and me, how we're doing life in the world, it's going to change. It's going to change for the better because your essence is going to be activated. Your genius, your truth, who you truly are, is going to be pushed forward. Now, of course, this is a fantastic thing, and whenever our essence is being pushed, we feel extremely vulnerable because there's plenty of reasons why you have been hiding, why you have been surviving and building all sorts of survival strategies, all sorts of ways to cover up who you are in order to make it in this world. And that is going to change now for all of us, for an incredible amount of people on this planet. So our humanity is going to shift. And how do we shift? Usually because something big happens. A couple of years ago, we had the pandemic. That was something big that happened to us and opened us and changed us. So we're already vulnerable coming from that because we're already that time was the pressure cooker that pressed upon us to feel and touch upon our wounding that was present already, but that we could just sweep under the carpet, under the rug, because we were doing life just fine until the pressure was increased and we had to look at those wounds because we couldn't escape anymore. We couldn't leave our house anymore. We couldn't go on holidays. We couldn't have our pleasures to numb or escape our true deeper feelings. And so we've been already clearing a lot of that trauma that was hiding inside of us because it was brought to the surface by the pandemic. And this has also resulted in a great rise of power in ourselves, into getting to know each other or ourselves better and embody who we are more, allowing our emotions more and letting go of a lot of shame and guilt more. and fear. And that has liberated us. And from there, we actually have a foundation from what we can truly build our life that is true to us, that is does not take energy from us, but gives us energy. So this year, 2025, in March, April, things are going to change again. There is going to be a pressure cooker for a big amount of people on the planet that will propel us forward into our deepest vulnerability and at the same time our deepest strength, because our core essence, which is our deepest strength, is very needed on the planet. And even though it is our core strength, it feels so goddamn vulnerable when your outside facade is ripped away, when your survival strategies are taken away, or when we feel threatened, we attack each other. Then also survival reactions, reactionary behavior is coming out, which is again triggering us at a deeper layer. And this time we are going way deeper than a couple of years ago. This time we're going to go to the core wound of our system, which is all about the wound of lack, the wound of existential terror. Do we have the right to exist? Do you have the right to exist? Are you good enough by just being, or do you have to do all sorts of stuff or be something that you're not? That's all going to fade away. It's going to drop. It cannot live anymore. So you're going to change. Your neighbor is going to change. Your family members are going to change. Everyone is going to change, whether they like it or not, whether you like it or not. And the more you're going to resist this change and the pressure cooker and what's happening, the more you're going to suffer. So the lesson is to surrender, to truly surrender to what is and learn as much as you possibly can about what is happening, about your own behavior, about your own trauma, how to deal with that, how to hold each other with that, how to deal with your anger, how to deal with your emotions. Like emotional maturity is going to be so important to learn that next level. And then to be able to open up and connect to each other on levels that is fulfilling, because we're going to need it. We're going to need each other. Like in COVID, we were drawn back to, like pushed back to onto ourselves. Okay, you need to do you. You need to clear your shit. You need to get your shit together. And now it's time to do it together. That is oftentimes even more challenging, to truly do it together, because you're going to face new stories, new things that you hadn't seen before, that are highly uncomfortable, that you'd rather not look at, but you have to in order to rise to your full power, which is wide open heart, full blown active sexuality and life force, connected and empowered and in control in a way that you don't harm others, but that you fulfill and activate others. Yes. And also pierce others with the truth. Like nobody can outrun the truth anymore. Everybody will be squeezed into their, like, look at your truth, look at it, take responsibility for it. This is really going to be difficult. And yet, it's also going to be amazing, because it's going to bring forth everything that we were afraid of. It sounds really weird when I'm saying this. Why would you be happy for that? Because the confrontation is way easier than the anticipation of that. Because once you have the confrontation, you can actually do something with it. And then you can transmute it, transform it. It's only energy. You can flip it. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to learn this year. So you don't need to be scared. What is going to happen is going to happen. You cannot avoid it. We also don't need to avoid it. We need to work with it. When you are a samurai is teaching to be with, is taught to be receiving his enemy with wide open arms. Why? Because then you can move this enemy around into the direction you want it to go. If you would turn your back on your enemy, you're very vulnerable. So you have to stay present and even invite it in, like, okay, come, okay, I got you. Our fears, our guilt, our shame, those are our enemies. Those we want to outrun. Those we want to shove under the rug. And then we think we're off the hook. No, no, no. That's not going to happen anywhere. You're going to have to face all of it. And you're going to have to face each other in it. You have to show your vulnerability in order for you to get help, to get love, to get support, to be in it together, which is the most scary thing for humankind to actually, right now, to actually receive help and support from each other and truly do it together without the codependency, without the manipulation. No, on a very clean basis where you can still hold your truth and speak your truth and confront each other. So it's not like, oh, you did something for me, now I need to shut up. No, I may speak my truth. I may say how I'm hurt. And I may receive your support, and you will still receive mine. That is what we're here to do. So, to incorporate the darkness, the fact that we're not perfect, and that we're still in it together. This is compassion towards each other and to yourself on a whole new level. Meaning, we're not there yet. Meaning, we're going to see a shitload of horrific behavior, possibly, where people don't know yet the way to this compassion, to this empathy, to this, okay, we need to do this together. Our wounding is going to up to levels that you're like, oh my shit, Lord, no. This I don't want. But we cannot outrun it. The only way to outrun it is death. This time. So you may think on how people could die. And there's also ways to prevent that from happening by taking in your truth and showing your truth. It's going to strengthen us. You know, it takes great courage to speak your truth. And it's also actually really respectful to do that because you're not making or keeping anybody small. When you're showing your truth, you are encountering, like, confronting the other person with the fact that you respect this person, that you think of him or her as equal because you're willing to show your true colors. If you wouldn't, if you just say, like, oh no, I'm not going to show you my truth, you're just keeping small or playing big, so you're not equal. And then you can blame the other person for it. Whereas you're supposed to show your truth. You're supposed to show your gift, which may be highly uncomfortable for the other person, but it is what is necessary in order to evolve to the next level. And there is no avoiding that anymore. So if you've been healing for the past years deeply, then it is time to give your gift on a whole new level. If you've been healing and think like, oh, this is never ending, no, you're going to enter a new cycle where you are the teacher, where you are the nurturer, where you are the therapist or the healer. And by healing, by teaching, by nurturing and giving, you're going to be healed deeper because the fact that you're stepping into that is going to propel you into a next stage, which will automatically bring up lessons to which you will work through, but you keep teaching, you keep nurturing, you keep healing, you keep stepping into that role. And if you feel like there's something off, then you need to find a teacher who's more advanced than you and dig in. And this can be hard to accept that there's somebody more advanced, further in this levels, steps, whatever it is, than you. But you may also be glad because the lessons that you're encountering, they're hard to tackle. They're deep. Everybody is stepping up and going deeper. Everyone. So if you've been doing a lot of work, then you should know where you're at. And at some point, there's hardly anybody who is further along than you. So don't go looking for advice with people who know less or have less experience than you. That's just keeping yourself small. It's time to teach and nurture others. That is how the cup is going to flow and overrun with love and nutrition and gold and good stuff. And if you're lucky, perhaps there's a teacher that has more and deeper experiences than you had, and you can take in that knowledge and that experience and that transmission that she or he gives you. Most likely it's women that are further. Be aware. For if you're a woman, most likely you need to look at a woman for support. If you're a man, most likely it's a woman as well. Because this, I'm sure this is going to trigger the shit out of people. I'm saying women have done the work over these past years so profoundly. And yes, I know there's men too. By all means, if you're men, oh yes, go seek male guidance. Amazing, go do it. I'm just also saying, probably your woman, your partner, your wife, she's already seeing things that you don't want to see. So take in the feminine guidance. Allow it because it's going to save your life if you're willing to listen. If you don't, she's going to suffer. Or she may be done with that and walk away. So the end of March feels like kind of a breaking point, breakthrough point. Remember that if you have a wave in an ocean, the wave is building and building and building and building. I don't know if people of you are surfing or if you've ever been in strong waters. This wave is building and then it goes, it crashes, it breaks. And it goes like the washing machine. Wow, it's really powerful and the surge goes back. We're going to be in that wave. It's going to crash and we're going to be in the washing machine. Unless you learn how to surf. So now is the time to get ready. To not be afraid of this wave, but start building with it. Start getting strong. Do your practices, meditation, sports, alignment practices. Show up. Show up, show up, show up, show up, show up, show up. And then surrender. When the wave crashes, surrender to the emotions. Allow them, allow the tears, allow the anger. Let it out. I'm not saying go bash somebody or kill somebody with your anger. No, let it out on a pillow. Scream in the car. Do let it out. Acknowledge your anger. Even, just do this. Say, I'm so angry and feel it. And scream. Allow it. Allow it. It's going to be vital. Why? Because it's going to bring you alive. It's going to give you access to your power. When you're crying, it opens your heart, which is your power to more compassion, forgiveness, love towards yourself and others. It's the surrender. It is where you find peace, where you find grace. If you resist the breaking, oh, you're suffering. You're going to be up in your head. You're going to want to be in control. You're going to be torn apart. until you break anyway. And then with the anger, if you resist it, it's only going to build up more. So confront it straight away, unleash it in order for your life energy, your energy. Don't we need that? The energy, the power to say no or to do something or to act. You need it. You're going to need it. It's great. It's part of us. It's our fire. How many of us lack fire at the moment? So the moment something happens in the world that makes you angry, don't shove it down. Don't push it down. Enjoy it. Go like, fuck, I'm so angry. And at last, you have the energy to do the thing that you were always afraid of, because this energy is going to propel you forward to do it, which is exactly what the world is waiting for. So go. You see, that's the breaking of the wave. And then when you've allowed your emotions, you're going to be able to surf the wave. You're still present. Then you're going to enjoy it, what's happening. You're going to be above the washing machine. So, a lot of people who are not preparing, who are not surrendering, they're going to be in the washing machine of the water. I don't know if you've surfed and you've been in a wave that is going, it's like, it's horrible. You're feeling like dying in all the water and the salt, and they're going to be in the washing machine. A lot of people are going to be in the washing machine where they don't know what hit them. And all their trauma and all their pain and all their triggers and all their reactivity is going to come about. And it's up to you to know and to allow to surrender and use your emotions and know when to stand up and rise on your surfboard so you can surf the wave. And then you're going to have a freaking good time. You're going to enjoy it, and you can maybe even take other people along on that wave. Regardless that there's a washing machine happening beneath you in the water, you're having a blissful time. You're like, wow, this is such a beautiful work. Look at me. Look at this. Look at, wow, amazing. I'm using all this power. I'm using all this incredible, incredible opportunity, powerful opportunity, challenging opportunity, because boy, you need to get prepared. You need to, build muscle. Uh, in this case, psychological and mental muscle. And also to stay with your feelings muscle, not walk away from it. And then you have to surrender to the wave, accepting that the wave is coming. You're not deciding when the wave is coming, whether you're ready or not. We're going to go. And then you surrender and you stand up, you rise, whether it hurts, whether it's uncomfortable. There's no time to lie down. Otherwise, you're in the washing machine. You have to stand up. Use your power, use your stand, and use then your balance. And then enjoy it. Best thing you can do to enjoy it. So, you want to learn how to surf life? Get emotional mature? Know how to regulate your nervous system? Know how to deal with triggers and trauma and relationship wounding? Do you want to learn how to use your abilities, unlock them, remember who you actually are, and accept that all your survival strategies are going to be ripped apart? Are you ready for life to actually really, really, really run through you? I hope so, because that's what's going to be all about. That's what we're going to dig into. We're going to go into the core wound of existence. The core wound, whether you are allowed to exist, whether you are allowed to receive, whether you are allowed to be loved. This is the core wound of the Western world, where we always come from a sense of lack. Like there's never enough, so I have to have more. More stuff, more money, more sex, more love, more, to get off. It's not going to work anymore. So we're going to go into the core wound of the mother wound, the trauma of our very first moments here on earth. As you were born, as you were a baby, maybe even in the womb, the time where you feel where you should have been held, loved for no reason, nurtured without deserving it, without working for it, just protected in safety and cared for with love, nourishment, food, holding, warmth, all these things. And none of us had enough of that. So we're going to encounter the wound that's around that in order to clean it up, in order to clear it, in order to heal it and receive all these things that I just mentioned to a whole new level. So we experience there's no lack at all. And there's so much love to give and receive. And there's so much money and there's so much energy and there's so much we can do because we're not suppressed anymore, because you have a sense of self-worth that is beyond what you've ever comprehended. But in order to get there, it's going to get really dark for a moment. So, what can you do in order to prepare right now? Get your meditations in, do your yoga, do your Kundalini breath work, whatever it is that you do to get into your body. Learn how to deal with your emotions. Learn how to regulate your nervous system. Learn about and release and unleash about your trauma and your past. Unleash your power. Learn how to say no. Then you will find also your yes. And then you will also find that people have full yeses towards you because they know their no. Like attracts like, right? And then you will be able to serve this and actually bring your gifts. And no, you're not too late. Don't worry. Everything that's happening right now is exactly as it should be. And it will bring you further. Even if it looks really dark right now, know that in the darkness, there is your treasure to be found. But in order to find it, you have to surrender to it and allow this darkness to be. So you can truly go to the core of it. And just like when you sink to the bottom of the pool, you're going to be able to push up again. So life is a paradox. Yes, we're going to learn how to surf. And of course, you will also end up in the washing machine. If this happens, don't worry. You'll be all right. You will be brought back to the surface. Just as Surface said, if you're being pulled out by a riptide, what do? You don't fight it because you don't control it, but you just float. You surrender. And then you will be brought back to the surface, to the beach by itself, by the current. And that is also what we're going to learn. Both ways. Rise and surf and surrender and be brought to the back to the shore all by itself, even though you have no clue how that's going to happen. It will happen in ways you didn't think possible. So, breathe with me. Breathe. Please know that, albeit my messages may be uncomfortable, I want you to know that when you face the truth, you have every power to work with it. No matter how uncomfortable it is. If you want to avoid the truth, you're going to suffer. I don't want that to happen for you. So I want to open your eyes, and I have every trust in your capability, in your presence, that you can work through this. And we all will. And if you need help, please reach out. And I will have something, I'm building on something to help you with this. Okay. I'm sending you all my love. Please lean back one more time into your chair, into your seat. Know that the earth is always there to carry you, that you will always have another breath to take and another exhale to release. And that this, as simple as it may be, is your most profound practice to come through, to get through difficult circumstances. I'm with you. So much love. Mwah. Until next time.